all the way we'll win. It's a restless wind, a restless wind.
Niemand weet precies hoeveel Indianen er nu nog in de Verenigde Staten van Noord-Amerika wonen. Maar officiële inwoners telt Amerika er thans circa 240 miljoen. Evenmin weet iemand precies hoeveel Indianen er in Amerika woonden toen het werd ontdekt en zij hun eigen land en hun eigen geschiedenis werden uitgejaagd. Wat weet de mens trouwens van hun geschiedenis en van hun land? Dat weet de mens van de officiële Amerikaanse geschiedenis. De ontdekking van overzee, de aankomst, de vestiging, de moeilijkheden die overwonnen moesten worden, de verwachtingen die niet werden beschaamd. Het is bijna onze geschiedenis. Alleen, de Amerikaanse jaartelling is veel later begonnen en loopt blijkbaar sneller af. De verovering van Amerika was er een op alle elementen tegelijk, zonder aanzien van wat of wie. Op weg naar het geluk, of de droom, of het beloofde land, of iets beters, al naar gelang aard of omstandigheden. Amerika werd veroverd. En in die ambitie stond de eerste bewoner evenzeer in de weg als het hoge gras, het merkwaardige gesteente. Het was de trein die de Indiaan definitief van het hem nog restende gebied verdreef. En met de trein was de verovering van Amerika een feit. Van kust tot kust was het land bedwongen. De trein was geen vuurwapen, geen verrader, geen bacillenverspreider. De trein was de overwinnaar. Hij trok het land in. In Europa werd de Amerikaanse ondernemingszin een voorbeeld en een romantische mode. De Dvorak maakte muziekstukken die hij uit de nieuwe wereld noemde. En in Duitsland schreef Karl May avonturenromans over Indianen en hun overwinnaars. Een van die boeken was De schat in het Zilvermeer. Andere, Winnetou, het hoofd der Apache, De zwarte Mustang, Winnetou's doden. De Indianen kennen die boeken niet. Zij staan op deze foto's. De uitvinding van de fotografie viel samen met de laatste der onafhankelijke Indianen. Hoe ze werden afgevoerd naar reservaten. Ten slotte aangehouden bij Wounded Knee. En uiteindelijk door de 7e cavalerie van het Amerikaanse leger daar uitgemoord. Zoals hun vaders en hun broers en hun zusters en hun buren en hun eigen vijanden. Niemand weet precies hoeveel Indianen er nog in Amerika wonen.
Del Busso and the Boucher party. Please return to the Air Canada ticket counter on course 1.
De Indianen die ooit zijn blijven leven, hebben een verdrag gesloten. De anderen zijn dood. Bij verdrag is hun manier van leven geregeld. Zij mogen handelsposten hebben om hun waarde te verkopen of, zoals de markt vraagt, folkloristisch in de weer te zijn. Maar het is een verre herinnering aan hun oorspronkelijke bestaan. Andere verdragen beschreven de plaatsen waar zij mochten wonen en waar zij wonen. De verdragen die dat destijds hebben bepaald zijn niet opgeborgen in archieven, opdat zij kunnen worden geraadpleegd wanneer dat nodig is, maar hangen in een museum dat in het hartje van New York op natte zondagmiddagen druk wordt bezocht door vaders en moeders en hun kinderen. En die kijken ernaar en denken wat mensen over dingen in museums denken.
Guns of famous Indians. What do they mean guns of it?
Huh?
Were Indian guns?
No, guns were given to the Indians by the white people. These are guns of famous Indians.
Oh, why did they give it to
Dit is het familieportret, een beetje bewogen, van de familie Haney. Het is een Indianenfamilie. Van verschillende stammen weliswaar, protestant geworden, generaties her. Ze wonen in Oklahoma, maar de jongen rechtsachter hebben we goed leren kennen.
It's going now.
It's going now, ja. Evan Haney is al vaker zo thuisgekomen. Uit Vietnam bijvoorbeeld. Uit de gevangenis ook. En deze keer met ons.
What y'all doing here?
This is my mother, Frances, and this is my father, Vernon. That little boy was Joseph.
I'm Frances Haney of Okeem, Oklahoma, and I'm a Choctaw Indian, full-blood, and I'm married to a Seminole, which is Vernon Haney, and he's a minister, and we live in Oklahoma, and we're a native of Oklahoma, and we live in this small town, and we have 3 children with us right now, and I'm going to show some of our pictures here that will show some of our children here. And for instance, this one is Charles Harjo. He lives in Denver, Colorado now. And this small picture is my daughter, our daughter. And they have 4 children. They live in Denver, Colorado. And he's been in service, but he's been discharged, and he's working now, and they live in Denver. And this is our youngest, David. He's next to Rose. And right now he's in Germany. He's serving 2 years, and he's got about 6 more months to go now. And his name is David Haney. And then up there is our picture of USS Topeka, Evans Haney. He boarded the cruiser. Maybe he can tell us about what line it is. I don't know much about it. Evan?
I was stationed in Da Nang, Vietnam, right here, during years 1968, 1969. And down here in this lower part of the picture, where these small utility boats, is where I was worked out of. There's our home port there in Da Nang. Back
to the things here. We have a little teepee there, which is used to be known that Indians used to live in that. But nowadays, the Indians are gone modern, I think, and we want to live in modern homes. So the teepee is a forgotten thing. But however, even though it's a miniature size, we tried to still preserve it, even though it looks ragged now.
I received my local preacher's license in 1964. This is a deacon. You know, after I got these 2, exhorter and local preacher, then I promoted to deacon. Later on I promoted to deacon, and later on I promoted to another step. This is the elder.
Taught all these things while I was growing up. I did learn a little of, you know, of the Indian life as it was and it has been. And most of those were around, I guess it would have been my interpretation of, you know, Indian religion. You know, I really don't know what Indian religion is, but, you know, I felt that, you know, I had my own interpretation of that. And when I got to Vietnam, I met the people, and they had their customs and they had their religions, you know, just by the way they lived and by the way they respected one another. And through that, you know, communications, I was able to understand them, and they were able to understand me. And, you know, we were brothers. You know, I would go into, you know, to the city or Da Nang or any place, and I would talk. You know, if I got to talking with the Vietnamese, you know, we would always express that, you know, we were brothers. We were the same people. And it was really an experience for me, because with that, you know, I never did experience that kind of thing before, you know, not even here in the United States, among Indians or with anybody. And it took me to go clear around the world and to meet people that we were supposed to be fighting with, and then having them calling me a brother to them, you know. And, you know, knowing that, you know, I was their brother, because, you know, they felt the same ways I did in some ways, you know. And it was about that time that I started realizing, you know, the history of the Indian people. And one of the things that really, I guess, made a impression on my mind was that it was like the 7th Cavalry. And, well, all the Army today, they have all these names that they have, you know, 7th Cavalry, 1st Cavalry Division, infantry troops and whatever. And all of these names and numbers have come from, like, the history of the American armed services, like from the Civil War into the First War, the Revolution, or whatever it came from. They had these names, and it was when they were conquering the West, you know, they had the 7th Cavalry there. The 7th Cavalry was the one that came in and destroyed Indian people, came in and got destroyed by, you know, the Sioux up in South and North Dakota or Wyoming. And it struck me strange. And another way, too, is because when the United States had first come to the, you know, this land here, what they had did was hire people from one tribe to fight another tribe. And that's how the West was won. They would have Indian scouts from one tribe chasing down Indians from another tribe. They would have these divisions or companies of blacks. They were called the Buffalo Soldiers. And they were hired to fight against Indians too. And so there we were, this present day time, an Indian is a black alongside me, a Chicano. And here we were all together in the United States uniform, and we were fighting these people over here. And that was just too much for me to handle.
Van de Indianen die er nu nog in Amerika over zijn, het kunnen er volgens officiële schattingen zowel 800.000 als 4 miljoen zijn. En die onzekerheid over een aantal schetst hun lot zo'n beetje. Van de Indianen die er nog over zijn er weinig gelukkig. Dit stadje, Gallup, ligt net buiten het reservaat van de Navajo's. En wat er binnen geldt, geldt er buiten niet. Hier zijn de cafés. En naar binnen in het reservaat niet. En hier kijkt niemand op van de wanhoop en de verscheurdheid bij iemand anders.
We enjoy wildlife. We enjoy things around us. This was taken at Territory Town. This is my father and I. Well, right there, we've got a small job. Well, I do. I go up there in the summer when the tourists come through in the area, and I go up there and use well, let's do a little gunfight, and we shoot blanks at each other, and we really have a fantastic time because, and plus that, you know, that itself up there puts something out that says there is an Indian there, you know, and that's more or less what we need, the American Indian recognition. So.
Gunfighting against the cowboys.
Right? Yes, more or less. I mean, we shoot blacks at each other and fall over dead, and et cetera, you know. So that's a little blurred up there. We took it with some Polaroids. I can't forget my American Indian heritage, you know. So, and that was myself up there when I was in Territory Town. It came out real fantastic, and we really liked it. And we was hoping to make postcards out of it eventually, and so that we could show people that, you know, there's still the American Indian around, you know.
De zwager van Evan blijkt al even verscheurd. Is patriot voor de toeristen en voor Amerika. En wat is daartussen precies het verschil? Evan begroet hem en neemt ons mee.
These are my friends from Holland.
Pardon?
These people are from Holland.
Holland?
Yeah.
Holland?
Yeah.
My name is William Haney.
Mr. Haney, what are you doing for a living?
Well, right now, yeah. Majority of my work covers the Indian arts and craft up there, the Osceola Trading Post in Oklahoma. And we're in the process of, well, let's begin our own business. So well, right now we're trying to more or less show the people up there that the American Indian is here. You know?
Yeah.
These right here are some of the beadwork that the American Indian does, and they're, well, this right here wholesales for $8.
Is it true that some of these things are made in Japan too and imported in America?
Yes, well, we have a lot of Japanese work coming in up there, and we can't hardly we can't improvise anything because the Indian work is something that well, we can do, but they can sell it so much cheaper, and we can't sell it that cheap. We sell it well. The only thing we can rely on is American Indian, and you can have a choice, either Japanese work or the American Indian work. This is more or less what I was trying to put across. Well, people wonder, you know, say, what is this behind, you know? And they can see this is the American soldier with the steel pot on and all, you know, the helmet. But this right here is more or less what you would call, what the Indians call the Great Spirit. You know, kids going to war, going to Vietnam, you take more or less the pale face. They go to war, and their parents always say, well, the good Lord will be with you. But the Indians, when they leave and go to war, they always say the Great Spirit will be with you. And this more or less is a signification that the Great Spirit is guiding him. I haven't completed it yet. I'm only in the process right now. And this is more or less the American Indian of today, more or less an American warrior, and the Great Spirit guiding him. I'm putting a brass plate, and the brass plate will read, "Step lightly, young warrior." And that, you know, comes from the Great Spirit, and the Great Spirit will be with him.
You've been in Vietnam yourself, isn't it?
Yes, I have, and well, we're Americans, and I think that being American is something that you can't, you know, just put away, because I mean, being American up there, even a person has to give his life up there. Then then if it's done over again, I'll give my life, because I hope to have children one day, and I want them to be free, and just as free as I was, you know.
But Charles cutter, give me the cutter.
And this one, yeter.
What do you want?
Charles cutter. 50 cents.
高いよ。
Als Indianen souvenirs maken en verkopen, wat maken ze dan? Souvenirs of herinneringen? Dingen die wat betekenen? Of hangen die al in de museums? Het grootste reservaat van Amerikaanse indianen in de Verenigde Staten, het bestrijkt New Mexico en Arizona voor een aanzienlijk deel. En onlangs bleek hoe rijk dat aanvankelijk nogal arm geachte gebied bleek. Om die rijkdom nauwkeurig vast te stellen, plaatste daarom het Amerikaanse ministerie van Binnenlandse Zaken een computercentrum in het hoofdkwartier van de Navajo's, dat die Navajo's zelf mogen bedienen. De Bureau of Indian Affairs telt de indianen van de reservaten. Niet die er buiten. En zo weet nog niemand hoeveel indianen er nog in Amerika wonen. Het telt de veestapel, onderzoekt de grond en exploiteert die onder hun voeten vandaan. Hier, bij de Navajo's, is onlangs uranium gevonden. Maar de indianen zullen er geen cent van zien.
Good afternoon, Jinaban to be here. Hey, Corona, easy, the Kobo, since you found out who needs them. I did the one at Dean Haskaji. Algenji, not all. This today, and no more don't like it.
Very well. Well, we'll contact Mr. Bluehouse sometime we're down that way with a load of hay. You don't know how they're situated right now?
Yes, quite a bit.
Quite a bit. Does he, do they have their own hay fund, their own hay treasury right there in the chapter?
Yeah.
They do. Good. Thank you very much.
Grote uranium, olie of kolenvinders doen hun zaken in Washington via de Bureau of Indian Affairs, zonder een Indiaan of een Indiaans verdrag te zien.
Well, we'd like to deliver it to you, and we'll give you a weight ticket, and that way you've got the benefit of everything. We weigh our trucks empty, and we weigh them, and this is Navajo hay from Shipwreck. We'd like to fill you up for winter while hay is cheap, Mr. Buyer. We could. If you want to look at a sample, we've got a sample right over here.
Well, I can take care of that later.
Okay.
Because we'll go back in session here. Got to take care of some business for it.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Als deze Indiaan wat koopt of verkoopt, heeft hij de handtekening nodig van een soortgelijke blanke als deze. Toevallig degene die bij de kop betrokken is. Altijd de handtekening, de toestemming van degene die bij de koop betrokken is. Stukken van het reservaat blijken bruinkool te bevatten en bruikbaar als bron van energie. De exploitatie is al begonnen voor de overeenkomst is gesloten, voor zover dat iets betekent. als de overeenkomst wordt gesloten via het Indiaanse kantoor van Binnenlandse Zaken, zijn de buizen al gelegd. Energie en koelwater, diep uit deze grond, voor de energievoorziening van Los Angeles, voor de energievoorziening van Las Vegas. Het geld dat voor de uitputting van de reservaten wordt betaald, mag intussen niet worden uitgekeerd aan de Indianen, maar blijft in Washington. Het zijn er niet veel meer Indianen. Maar toch komen ze blijkbaar langzaam weer in de geschiedenis terug.
Sure is. Why don't y'all come on in and rest your weary feet?
My dad told me the way the Indian born, new baby born. My dad told me that Indian baby born, his hand was just like that when he born. But the white baby born, he double his fist. And that's the only difference, white and Indian. And that's what he told me.
You think that's an important difference?
I think that's the way they're born.
But what does it mean?
But well, it means, when Indian, my dad says Indian, when he born like that, he's just a free-hearted. He's just free. But if he was born like that, it'd be all right, but it's just like that, and that's why it's just free. Anybody come up to him asking for something, even if he got the last one, he's going to give it to him. But white, it don't do that. When he hold it, he's just going to hold it. Unless he wants something, then he's going to get it out to buy something with it. But when you talk to white people, when he says it, ain't got it. He got it. He got it. But when Indian says ain't got it, he means he ain't got it. When the Indian says, I don't have any. If I had it, I could let you have it. When he says that, he means he don't have it. As long as he got it, he's just going to give it to you. Sir. For that reason, white man and Indians are different. And I don't believe they ever be like Indian white man. It's like a skin. White man got white skin and Indian got white skin. Same thing. I don't believe they do.
In New Mexico is een Indiaans toeristendorp waar het allerpijnlijkste tegen een redelijke toegangsprijs gebeurt. Amerikanen kijken naar Indianen en ze zien dat ze er zijn. En ook na sluitingstijd blijven ze. Volgens ruwe schatting bedraagt het aantal Indianen thans circa 4 miljoen. Men zegt dat het er nu weer ongeveer net zoveel zijn als toen Amerika werd ontdekt. Als dat zo is, zijn de Indianen weer op hun oude sterkte, in hun eigen land. Arm, ongezien, terneergeslagen, met weinig hoop vaak, maar onweerstaanbaar naar het schijnt.
which art in heaven, hallowed be.
And I don't believe anybody.
Thy name.
You know, like.
Thy kingdom come.
I like that. I just like today.
Thy will be
I just like today, like cars we drive. And used to be a horse and buggy day, and foot it the same way. Like today, I like it. I don't believe I want to go back to old time, because I don't want to walk. I don't want to ride a wagon. I like to ride car, and I like to ride airplane. And like that, I don't believe I'll go back and put myself like in an old time way. It was pretty good.
Amen.
He's asking about the type of activity that I've been involved in with, you know, being on Alcatraz and working with Indians, you know, throughout, you know, in different states. on Indian problems and like similarly.
So you agree with it?
Yes.
You're a Methodist preacher, you told us a minute ago.
Yes.
Have you been a Methodist all your life?
All my life.
Yes.
My parents were Methodist.
The thing is that most of the authentic religion that instigated Indian as a Christian person, well, all this had been done away by modernization. Every day a new trend shows up, everything new, and then we fall in the same footstep of that trend, and by that we think of the legend or the tradition as old-fashioned and then go into the new way. And by this creates a disturbance among our young people because they do not understand their old religion, and yet we're trying to practice the white man's religion. And when we become aware that this religion is real because we read the scriptures, we read the Bible, and we believe it's true, so we follow in that direction. And therefore, we leave all the old tradition behind and go forwards. So this is where all the tradition has been lost, and we do not practice any of the old tradition anymore.
Okay, we'll see y'all later this evening.
Track motorcycle races Saturday night at the Lakeside Speedway in Dewey, Oklahoma, just past Bartlesville on Highway 7.
This way. See, my parents are Christians. They claim to be Christians and they believe in the Christianity of the Bible. And I can't just go to my parents and tear down all the foundations of their belief. You know, I just can't go to do that without, you know, having another belief that, you know, that will replace that. And so the only way I can like express my feelings on those are to relate other things that have happened that Christians have done, but not to say that my parents are doing that same type of imperialistic things myself.
Indian religion, the Great Spirit?
Well, you see, I guess as my father put it earlier, there isn't really that much Indian religion that is still around. Most of it has faded away in the past. And I guess it would be like the only way that I could get to any type of like Indian religion would be to combine all the feelings of other people from different tribes, the same way as in music and in dancing, where like I would be with a group of people and we have different languages and we have different customs, different dances, but that doesn't stop me from being able to understand what they're saying, and I can learn what they're singing or what they're saying or what they're expressing by what, you know, they teach me. And they can learn the same thing from me, myself, of what I know. And combining all of these, we can come up with maybe a newer type of religion out of all parts of the old religion. This is the house where I grew up since I was born in 1947, and I left here when I was 18. That was back in 1966. And my folks haven't lived here since that time, but this is where all my memories of my childhood memories are from. There isn't too much of a house anymore, but it's still here and it's still my house. But from down to the road to about maybe 400 yards back this way in the forest is I guess about 20 acres, which still belong to our family. At one time, all of this land here belonged to Indian people. But it was the Seminole Reservation. But in 1906, when Oklahoma became a state, the government allowed the settlers to settle here. And what they did was they allotted each, well, the settlers weren't able to buy land from, the Indian individual because all the land belonged to the tribe. And the settler would have to get the consent of the whole tribe just to buy a piece of land. So in 1906, the government opened up the land to settlers, and they began allotting each individual Indian 360 acres of land. But what happened was that there was no way that the Indian people could support themselves. And during that time, from 1906 to now, people had to sell their land, bit by bit. And all this land here now belongs to a rancher nearby, except for this small area right in here, which is still, Indian land. It belongs to my parents, and it'll belong to me later. And, we vowed never to sell it because it's the only thing. It's the only land that's still left. But, this is it, A lot of other people around this country, it's the same thing has happened to them, too, also, where they only have small bits of land.